Senator Markwayne Mullen, who led the bipartisan CODEL to Turks and Caicos. Senator, good to see you. So, again, I think these bipartisan CODELs, the missions that you go on, can have great influence. What kind of response did you get from the island nation, Turks and Caicos?
Well, first of all, let me back up to what, and Sean, I appreciate that, but I got to back up to what Secretary Blinken said. Secretary Blinken's an absolute liar, and he's the worst secretary we've ever had. He also took credit for getting Americans out of Afghanistan. You know the engagement I had in that. The first American to cross was a team that I was privileged to work with, and we fought the State Department harder than we fought the Taliban to get them out. And he immediately went and took credit and said his team worked hard to negotiate, and that absolutely did not happen. In fact, they were our biggest hindrance for that. We would have had the Americans out 3 days prior if we would have had the State Department's assistant. But they told Ambassador Promagine, who was the ambassador to Tajikistan, not to assist us in any way. And I can assure you, in this situation, I started working with the State Department 7 weeks ago, and they absolutely was pointless and worthless for us to work with. They didn't engage until I said I was going to be taking a CODEL there. And then I started dealing with the assistant secretary. And when she got involved, I will say that they tried to be more of assistants, but they were not helpful at all in trying to get these Americans out. Now, when we met with the premier, which is the elected official in Turks and Caicos, and the governor, who is appointed by London, because remember, Turks and Caicos is a London territory, I will say that the meeting didn't go very well, not the way we wanted it to go. We were going there in good faith, trying to find a middle ground. Keep in mind, Sean, these individuals could have been charged underneath the Customs Act. And the Customs Act exists just for this, when they're moving in or out of customs and they have illegal product that may be legal in the country they were coming from, but illegal there, that they can be charged underneath the Customs Act instead of the National Act. And they were not willing to move at all off of that. Now, to see this judge take the stance to which she did take on Brian's case, which I spoke to Brian by phone and by text already today, this is a positive move for us. Now, Tyler's case in Virginia, he will be heard from a different judge. He's on a different island, but in Turks and Caicos. And so this was a different court system. We'll hope that that judge looks at what this judge did and take the same stance. And then that'll probably happen with the other four to follow.
If we can just take a step back for a moment, I'm more curious about the State Department response and why you had to get involved in the weeds of this. It's clear that it was a mistake. A couple of bullets were left in the bag. This isn't a situation where there was any intent to break a law or to harm anybody. So why do you think the State Department was backing away from trying to help?
The State Department said that they had warned Americans on their website, that they made a post on travel there, which I informed them who checks the State Department before they travel. I traveled all over the country. It's still yet, and I don't ever check the State Department. I traveled before I was in Congress, and I don't check the State Department. To which their response was, that's too bad. But they knew this law was put in place. What happened here, Jackie, was 2 years ago, the Turks and Caicos was having, and they still have, gang violence that's spilling over from Haiti to Turks and Caicos. And so in response, they came back with a really strict gun enforcement law where it's no tolerance for ammunition or a gun. So if you have a gun with fully loaded mags on the street or you're selling it, it's the same as having, like these Americans had, a very few, most of them just average 2 or 3 bullets in their luggage. It's a minimum 12-year sentence. So this is an unintended consequence, but this was just started to be enforced in February of this year. Since February, they've averaged 1 American every 3 weeks detaining them, and the State Department was not engaging them. In fact, I would encourage you to speak to Brian about it when he gets back and gets settled with his family, because he will tell you the story too. In fact, the only reason why I got involved is because Ryan Watson, who was the second American that was picked up, he was from Oklahoma, or he is from Oklahoma, and then he met Brian, and Brian being from Pennsylvania, became friends, and Brian was extremely helpful in telling us what the situation was. But until then, he was just floating. He had been there at that time for almost 60 days and had no interaction hardly at all with the State Department. And so why they don't interact, I don't know. It starts from the top. It starts with Secretary Blinken and his ability to lie to the American people and say one thing and do completely the opposite.
You know, Markwayne, a major part of their economy is American tourism. If we put out a recommendation not to travel to Turks and Caicos from the State Department, this would all end real quick. But Blinken and Biden aren't willing to do that. Markwayne, thank you for doing the good work of Americans who some might think are forgotten, but not in Senator Markwayne Mullen's office. We appreciate you telling us the story.
Sean, Jackie, thanks for having me on.
Thank you.